Here we are tucked away again in the entrance foyer, just right inside the main doors here. Again, we got a nice feature in the home right here, this nice arch that looks into the dining room. I thought it might make a nice setting for our groom. So we've got him coming in here. The thing I want to do is, Christian, let me have that elbow slide that way just a little bit more, even a little bit more, a little bit more. Hand go flat on the, yeah, that's good. What I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to have a line from his shoulder to his elbow, give me a diagonal line. I don't want it to be a static vertical line in this case. I just slide the elbow back just a little bit more. The right hand's coming up. It's a great position of the right hand. And again, even that left hand, I sometimes suggest to my clients that they just make your hands like you're holding like a library pencil or a golf pencil. And it just breaks up the wrist just a little bit more, gives us a little bit more interest in it. So now I've got lots of lines going on here. Wide angle lens again, looks like I'm floating around about 12 millimeters here. I'm going to see if I can get the whole arch here. Now the thing is, watch what happens when I'm down here and I get the whole arch in. Well, I got the problem with all those converging lines. So it doesn't look very good here. Another thing let me talk about is I got great lighting on his face. And the other lighting in the background, it's just, everything's really lighting up nicely. But my assistant Aaron is like way across the room here. And Aaron, I think I might have you back up just a little bit more, just a fraction more, same line that we have, right about there, that's good. And the reason I have her so far away is because, well, because I want the light on him to be about the same density as the light that we have on the wall to my left. If I had Aaron a lot closer, this wall would be closer to her than the groom is closer to her. So this would light up quite a bit more. So by me really putting a lot more distance between she and Christian and our wall and so forth, we get nice even illumination on the wall and even to our groom right here. So anyway, I think it works out pretty well. I think our light's falling off nicely. We got a couple wall sockets and switches in the background, but that's such an easy fix with the patch tool in Photoshop. I'm not even going to be concerned about it. It's kind of interesting when I'm shooting, those things kind of go through my mind. It's like, okay, do I need to fix them? Do I need to hide them? If I try to hide them, I really lose the feature that we had over there. So I don't mind that I'm seeing them, and I know it's going to be a quick fix. So here we go. Let's get our shot. As I said, right back here. Okay, we got those converging lines, but we do have nice light coming in from Aaron. What I'm going to try to do then is, because I have those converging lines, I need to get a little bit higher. Well, what's really cool with these cameras these days is that you can use something called Live View. Press the button right here. It lights up right here in my viewfinder. And now I can literally raise it up here till I get those lines parallel that I was talking about, get a better view, and take a couple more. And it's a little hard to frame them up here, but you know what? It's all part of the fun. And now we have our lines parallel again. Everything running through the whole scene looks pretty cool. When I look at this, I'm seeing another arch in the background that I think looks pretty neat too, and I might want to try to frame Christian up in that as well. So, Christian, let me have you just flip-flop the pose a little bit. Sliding this way. Elbow, good. If you need to, can you lean ahead of this thing here? I like what you're doing. Just the way your hands came together is okay with me too. Turn your head back this way. Back towards me a fraction. Okay. Now, I know that Erin is not in the same position she needs to be. I'm kind of moving around. We got something on the wall popping in there I'm not happy with. But everything else is looking good. Erin, let me have you now, instead of coming from that direction, kind of tuck back in the corner that I was in earlier on in the dining room. And I'm probably going to have the groom split lid here, but I think that works okay. Do we have all of our louvers opened in there? Yes. We do? Okay, but those louvers we talked about earlier on, they're still not supplying enough light for me for my groom here, so I'm just going to let Aaron kind of light him up with the umbrella and see what that does. It's pretty harsh light, so how am I going to solve the harsh light problem? Aaron, I'm going to ask you to pull the umbrella off. Back away almost to the window right here, you know, up to the edge of the window, and just light up that whole right side of that room. And that huge cone of light should create a huge light source, what I call a large flat light on the wall that should soften our shadows considerably. Let me know when you're ready. We're good? Okay, let's try. And that's looking pretty cool. A little tilt. Yeah, perfect, just like that. Get a couple. And I think that's looking kind of cool. I got that one plant or whatever, the other piece of wall decor in the wall that I'm not as happy with. What I do like is I like the tonalities behind him. I like the repeat of the arches around his head. There's one little skinny arch behind his head, and then the larger one coming in here too that I think works pretty well. And I even like some of the angles of that crown molding of that ceiling treatment we got going on here too. So I think a nice location here for just a nice photograph of our groom.